Giants. It is 15-3. The Cowboys are in front. Kind of an odd situation, David, at halftime as the Cowboys get the turnover from DeMarcus Lawrence. He punches the ball out from Saquon Barkley. They're driving down the field, but once they get the pass to Dalton Schultz, they have one timeout left, 10 seconds. They elect to let that sucker run to 3 before they call a timeout, play for the field goal instead of the touchdown. It seemed quite odd.
It did seem odd because this is an offense that struggled in the red zone to get touchdowns. And today, now 1 of 4 in the red zone. They had that remaining timeout. Another time management issue for this team. Would have liked to see him do it, but looked like Dak was trying to get it.
Yeah, so he was almost like,
do you
want
me
to
take
it? Do you want me to take it? And if you get that play with 10 seconds left, you can get one shot into the end zone to try to get a little red zone success, but they went straight for the field goal.
Very conservative.
Yeah, and that's not what we're used to with this team.
No.
We're always talking about how aggressive this team has been the entire year, going for it on fourth downs and other situations, but that seemed a little conservative. I think in their mind they feel that maybe they can beat this team. Just put points on the board, and with the way the defense is playing and the way the Giants are playing offensively with Glennon, that they seem like they don't have any chance to put some points on the board.
Yeah, you're right. I think as fans, we get a little excited. We always want the touchdown. We always want them to be aggressive and go for it. But if you're the Cowboys and you have a chance to wrap up the division, and you're saying, how could we lose this game? We lose this game by not getting points. Our defense is in control. Mike Glennon probably not going to outscore us today.
Yeah, no, that's true. I think, and this is going to sound like it's a bad term, but this defense, they're great front runners. When they have the lead, I think they play way better than they do when it's a little close or they're playing from behind. So even, I guess their thought process is put points on the board, let the defense do what they're doing. They have a couple of interceptions, not a couple of interceptions, a couple of turnovers, both caused by DeMarcus Lawrence. It was the pressure on Glennon.
That's right.
That had the Jordan Lewis interception that he could have fair caught. I mean, 4
so
Cowboys around it. And then the punch from Saquon Barkley to cause him to have the first lost fumble of his career. And that's pretty big. Like you said when we were in there watching the game, he probably hadn't been punched like that before by a cat like DeMarcus Lawrence, because he really put his fist in there and got it. So overall, David, how do you feel about the Cowboys offense? I know there was tons of talk about Dak and maybe not looking like the Dak that he's been at the beginning of the season for the last couple of weeks. How do you think he did this?
I actually feel a lot better about Dak. I felt last week he looked like the last place he wanted to be was in the pocket. Today, he's looked a lot more comfortable, and that's without Tyron.
Yeah.
They're kind of rotating tackles. He's worked in every receiver, all making plays, and they're moving the ball.
Tony Pollard, Zeke Elliott, the running game. It's hard to believe that Tony Pollard is doing what he's doing with his foot the way it is. He's playing really well. He's running the football really well. But Zeke maybe not getting the average. He's averaging 10 carries for 42 yards, 4.2 a carry, which isn't bad for him right now. But he's getting those tough yards, dude. That one run where he just ran into the pile and kept his legs going on a 3rd and 1 that went for 10 yards, that's prime Zeke right there, man.
We talked about that in the pregame. You know, Zeke might not be able to give you the big breaking long run, but he needs to be able to get 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, and keep it going. He's done that 3 or 4 times today, and he had a nice 12-yard touchdown run.
Boy, isn't that a trip that if those roles are reversed, because Tony Pollard definitely has way more burst than Zeke right now, and it's not even close. He's just that back. But it's Zeke getting the tough yards and Tony Pollard getting those plays to get around the corner, even run through the off tackle to get those big chunks of yards. He has 7 for 59.
You're over 100 yards.
Yeah, averaging 8.4 carry, and it just looks like they're in control of this game. But that always concerns me when you talk about this team and the Cowboys, because, you always want the touchdown, man, but you got to have some red zone success. And it's not just about this game. It's about gearing up for the playoffs. And when you start playing better teams, that you got to start getting some type of rhythm down, because, you can beat the Giants kicking 26 and 29-yard field goals. You can't beat the Cardinals. You can't beat the Packers. You can't beat the Rams or Tampa or those guys doing that. So you almost use these games to try to figure some things out. And it looks like Dak's feeling a little better. But they've got to get this red zone offense going.
Yeah, and the drops have shown up a couple of times today. CeeDee Lamb has had a couple of drops. But to your point, If you remember week 1, I think they were 2 of 5 in the red zone in that game. The difference between Dallas winning and losing was Dallas had to settle for field goals when Tampa was scoring touchdowns.
Right.
Dallas this year, 33% red zone on the road. They're 10 now of 31. It's 30% in the red zone. That's ranks at the bottom of the NFL for the road NFL red zone productivity.
And we always say, you never apologize for a win in the NFL, and it looks like the Cowboys are on their way to doing that because their defense is playing really well against a bad New York Giants offense. But, man, I feel that they just need to get a little more crisp on offense to just try to get some things going. And, yeah, it feels like Dak is a little more comfortable in the pocket this game than he has been before, but you still have a little more work to do if you're him, I think, to get the ball downfield a little more. Like, while we're watching the game, you're saying he's going with this first read. He's going with this first read. That's not Dak, man.
Right.
That's Dak scanning the field, the offensive line giving him time, and he can pick his guy to try and wait for somebody to get open. And it feels like he's just really kind of just trying to get rid of the ball. So I don't know if it's trying to find rhythm or if it's just he's a little nervous and he has some happy feet. But I still think we need to have him get a little better, and we haven't seen that MVP performance like we saw in the first half of the season.
It's been missing, but I just wanted to see stop the bleeding, turn it around, start to build some confidence so they can turn it this thing around on offense where they can start getting touchdowns. I do like the fact that they started with the drive, their ball on their own 6-yard line, and put 16 plays together.
Right.
That sack at the end was really disappointing to lose those 12 yards. But I do think it does show that Dak kind of did turn a little corner because he didn't throw it up. He didn't force it. He just ate it and just took the field goal because he knew if I turn the ball over here, that I bring New York right back in the game.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. You feel pretty good about the second half?
I do, but I still want Dallas to go out there, put their foot on their throat, and show a killer instinct.
All right.
Game's not over yet.
Donovan, Jake, Sean on